Tsetse, who's in Pretoria for us. Lehana, what's happening where you are?
The results operation center of the IEC. This is where the results of the elections will be coming from throughout the country, informing nationals as to what the outcome is and how the elections will be going about. But before we can go and talk to the deputy electoral officer, I just want to show you the area itself as how the place is going to look like. If you look on my extreme right, there's a glass office there. That glass office, this is where the IEC officials will be sitting, who will be monitoring what is happening here and also taking queries from public, or rather from the political parties. On my right as well, as you can see on my right there, the ANC, other political parties, which of course starts with A, will be that side, and this side as well on my left there are other political parties sitting in an alphabetical order. But if you can look right in the middle of the hall itself, as you can see those desktops, that's where the IEC officials will be sitting. These are officials who will be taking any query either from the political party in the provinces, everywhere. They will be coming through to them, after which they will take the queries to the IEC officials to process them, and the party concerned will then be informed as to what is going to happen. On that day, all political parties will be here, as well as other officials, and of course the whole place will be cordoned off because of security reasons. But with me now, just to give us a further brief of what will be happening, is Mr. Mawetu Mzori. Your Excellency, can you just tell us as to what arrangements have you made and what's going to happen on the day?
Well, this is the place where the Electoral Commission will coordinate all its activities throughout the country and getting reports from each one of the 23,000 voting stations in the country. And we will ensure that we have updated details of each venue, but also we'll be monitoring the count from here at the end of voting on the 8th, and we will then start receiving the results here. We will obviously publish results from here once they are audited. So we will go through all of those processes with the team here, but we also have political parties here who are monitoring and are briefed by us on an ongoing basis to ensure that the process we are managing is transparent and political parties have equal access to information that we would have as the Electoral Commission, to just ensure that there are no questions at the conclusion of the count. And finally, the results in terms of seat allocation will also be done here by about Saturday next weekend.
In my opening, I alluded to the issue of queries. Are you going to handle the queries promptly? Are the political parties going to be told if they have a query as to whether this query has been settled, and what's going to be the process?
Oh, certainly, with all complaints or objections we receive on any of the voting days, we've got to resolve it immediately. There's sufficient authority at presiding officer level, at provincial electoral officers level, as well as here, where if there's an objection on a person voting, on a person not getting both ballots, we have to answer those kinds of complaints and objections immediately, so that they are not an issue when we conclude the count. And here we have a team of about 100 people who will be dealing with those queries. We also have a team that will be dealing with queries in the social media, and we also have a team that is at our call center responding to voter information questions. So we have a machinery in place that should be able to interact with the greater population of South Africa and giving immediate answers on all issues.
In the past, we experienced in some areas where you'd find voters in actually trying to disrupt the process, in even going to sort of having very rough scenes of violence. If it happens in the province and you all hear, how are you going to handle that?
Well, we have provincial electoral officers who are sitting with a number of panelists who are trained in management of conflicts and management of tensions. We will certainly be deploying those teams to those areas to make immediate intervention. But partly we have a operational plan with our security establishment in the country where we will together make decisions for immediate intervention to resolve whatever tensions that can occur at voting stations. Obviously, the framework we have in the country is that there is no protest on voting day, and we hope our communities and our citizens at large would respect that the election day remains peaceful as it has been in the many elections we've had in the country.
And today, what's going to happen?
Well, today we needed to bring in all our key stakeholders, particularly political parties. All 48 of them have a sitting here, and we needed to train them on how they monitor on our IT system the actual results process and follow the results when they come through. So we needed to bring them here to see the facility and to train them. And we've also invited members of the media and the public and other state organs to come and view where we will be and where we will be operating. So we are basically showcasing the facility so that everyone can have access to the Electoral Commission in the next 7 days until we announce the election outcome on the 11th of May.
Any preparations for any eventuality?
At this stage, things are looking very good. We've been given assurances on the side of the Weather Bureau. The weather is promising that it would be good for the voting days. Obviously, I'm saying voting days because we have special votes on Monday 6th and Tuesday 7th, and then the proclaimed election day, which is May 8th. And on the other front, which was worrying a number of South Africans, was load shedding in the evening. We've got a good working arrangement with Eskom. So we are certainly comfortable that we should have an all systems go election going forward.
Once again, just to wrap up, how many voters are you expecting to vote this year?
Well, as the Electoral Commission, we plan for the full quota of our voters, which is 26.7 million. We expect them to all come. It's a very important exercise to come out and vote. We do it once in 5 years to elect a national government or provincial government. So we should use the opportunity for that purpose. So we expect all of them to come. But the trend has always been around 70% of those registered voters who come out and vote on the day. And we hope to retain that. And judging by the vibe of the campaigns of various political parties, it's hopeful that it would be a high voter turnout election. And we're ready even if it was 100% voter turnout.
Probably you'd like to reiterate again from the IEC your message to the voters, encouraging them to come and vote.
Well, certainly our message is simple. Come out, vote. We get the opportunity once in 5 years. And as a South African citizen, you can only vote in South Africa and nowhere else in the world. So use the opportunity. This is the only place where you get it.
Thank you. The IEC officer, Mr. Missouri, and saying all voters are actually encouraged to come and vote. This is how the ROC, the ROC, is going to operate like, and everything is expected to run smoothly. From us here at the ROC, back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, my colleague there, Lehana Tsotetsi.